I finally just got the Wendigo for myself, and I can tell you from experience, this grind is long. But with my tips, I can make that grind just a little bit easier and a little bit faster for you. This video is going to have tips both for teams and for solos. A lot of the videos I've seen so far have been geared a lot towards teams, and it is an advantage if you have a team, but if you don't, I have some tips for you here as well. However, before we get to the more important and faster tips, I want to really clear up some confusion. You must be in the Vanguard Strikes playlist for any of your kills to count for any of those 3 steps. You can't be in an individual strike that you picked off of the map, and you can't be in a Nightfall strike. Those don't count. Only the Vanguard Strikes playlist. If you're still trying to choose if you want to go in there solo or with a team, if you have a choice and you don't really care, I would say go for a team, because it's a lot easier to be able to farm undisturbed and not get pulled forward into a boss room by some blueberry. That being said, you can complete this as a solo, however, it's going to take you much longer, but on the bright side, you don't have to worry about any kind of party chat or communication at all. Whether you're in a fire team or not, your best farming is going to be in strikes that start you in a patrol zone that is active. So that would mean strikes like the Lake of Shadows or the Corrupted. Those are ideal places to go, especially the Corrupted, because if you're in a team of pretty solid players, you could actually go to the Blind Well and farm that. Now, I will say that the Blind Well is not ideal for everybody, so just be aware that if you tend to die a lot in the Blind Well, then maybe don't go there, because that 3rd step where you have the percentage of kills, that's going to actually be impeded by every death. So if you want that to go a little bit faster, I would advise to instead go to maybe some lost sectors or just farm enemies that are just out in the patrol zones. That's also a good way to go about it as well. And since this quest requires you to get final blows for all 3 steps, you want to split off from your team because you don't want to compete over the same kills. It can get pretty frustrating if someone's out there just stealing every single kill of yours, and that'll break your team down pretty fast. So my best advice would be to split off, preferably into your own lost sectors, but if that's not available, if there's not enough lost sectors, have 1 person maximum in each lost sector, and the remainder can go and farm the out-of-patrol area. For solos, you're going to do sort of the same thing. However, I'm going to teach you how to navigate being a blueberry or being with blueberries at all times, because that is going to be your most frustrating factor in getting this done. And it's going to cost you a lot of time, just because there's always going to be that one jerk who doesn't care that you're doing the Wendigo farm, or even worse, he knows you're doing it and wants to mess it up. The first part of this works exactly the same. You look for a strike that has an active patrol zone, go off on your own, go farm that as much as possible, whether it's the lost sector or just the patrol area. Escalation protocol is out of the question because it doesn't work during strikes, or at least not when I've tried it. And the Blind Well, it can work if there's people already there and you feel pretty comfortable with it. Maybe go ahead and try it, but I will warn you, being alone makes you die a whole lot more. So if you don't want to die as much, I would say go for a lost sector or just go for just the random patrol enemies. And when the inevitable finally happens and those blueberries pull you forward, your best bet is really just to leave and re-queue into the strikes until you get another strike that's good for farming. The exception to this rule is if you're being pulled into an encounter or a boss fight with a whole lot of adds that you can go and kill pretty easily. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, this grind is still going to take you a few hours to get done. So this is a great thing to do for whenever you have like a full day or even a full weekend off. You can pop in some Netflix, a stream or two, or a podcast and just go to work. I hope that helps. If you have any questions or if you just want to let me know how much this worked for you, put that in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.